Good. All right. Awesome. So palms are to the ceiling, legs are apart, eyes are closed. We're going to do a melt roller class with the melt performance moves on in our session today. So we're going to give ourselves permission to drop in and get a sense of what we call your body sense. Just inhale and exhale. So this is part of what we call our reconnect technique, where we bring into our awareness what is happening.
I can't see you. I think you need to tilt it because I can only see half of your body.
Thank you,
Like
Jen.
half, split in half.
I forgot I tilted it up to talk to people. Thank you.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, so let's start again. So we'll just get a sense of what we call your body sense, and we'll look at where stuck stress likes to live in your body and your 4 common muscle imbalances. So the first we will look at is your shoulder girdle. When we have stuck stress in our shoulder girdle, rather than ideally lying flat and wide and balanced on your shoulder blade, you might notice that you're tipped back towards the top of your shoulder blade, or you might feel like part of the bones of the shoulder blades are poking into the mat, or that you're weighted differently from one side to the other. When we have stuck stress in our shoulder girdle, it's going to affect our neck and our shoulders and upper back. So just turn your head to the right and left slowly, and just notice if there's any restriction in the end range on either side and any difference. And then bring your head back to center. But you'll also notice when there's stuck stress in the shoulder girdle, you might feel that your shoulders are actually pulled forward. So noticing how your arms are on the mat, the back of your upper arm resting on the mat, your elbows form, and ideally your palms are to the ceiling. But if there's stuck stress in the shoulder girdle, you might notice that your palms are rotated in towards your body. The second place that stuck stress likes to live is in your diaphragm. And the importance of our diaphragm strength is so critical to oxygenation in our body, to how our fascia is. Is it hydrated or is it dehydrated? So noticing here if you have a whole back curve or low back curve. If you have stuck stress in your diaphragm, you might notice that your rib cage is lifted up off the mat. And it's like the curve of your back runs from your pelvis all the way to the tip of your shoulder blade. Ideally, the curve of your spine is between your pelvis and your belly button, and you have equal weight on 2 fluffy butt cheeks. So if you have stuck stress as we move down into your pelvis, you might notice that you're tipped more down towards your tailbone or just sitting weighted on your sacrum. Your legs, as they exit your body, will be impacted by if you have stuck stress in your pelvis. Ideally, the back of your thighs are weighted to the mat. The back of your knees are off the mat, with your calves, sort of the outer, mid to outer edge of the calves are on the mat, and your toes are pointed to where the wall and the ceiling meet. When you bring yourself back to your torso, we'll look at how efficiently our autopilot is functioning today. You can divide your body into a left and right, and just notice if you are equally weighted on the 2 sides of your body, or if you feel like you're a little more weighted to one side over the other, or maybe one arm or leg feels longer than the other. I'm going to have you take a focused breath in. And as you exhale, you can just bend your knees, roll onto your side, and bring yourself up to a seated position. We're going to start with our rebalanced sequence. You're going to bring your roller lengthwise onto the mat. What's important here is that your pelvis is on the bottom end. So when you lie down, your head is all the way on the roller. So just move your body to the bottom of the roller with one hand on the roller on the floor. You just tip one hip up, and then using your hands and your feet, you roll down onto your back. Check by reaching overhead that your whole head is on the roller and that your elbows, your forearm, and palms are down on the mat. We'll begin with our gentle rocking, where you're visualizing your tailbone, your spine, all the way up to the back of your head being Velcro to the roller, and your body is moving with the roller. Notice if your ribs and pelvis feel like they're moving in equal timing. Ideally, they are moving in equal timing. And so just notice if maybe you feel your ribs or your pelvis is moving ahead of the other. Bringing us back to center, place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And we'll start with our 3D breath breakdown. As you inhale, focus on the inhale being slightly longer than normal. And your first 3 breaths, you're breathing depth into your rib cage. So picturing your chest and your ribs and your belly expanding up to the ceiling and your back ribs down to the roller. Inhale, focus on bringing length into your body. And exhale. One more time. So when we breathe in, it brings our oxygen into your body. It brings length and space. And exhale. Place your hands on your ribs and now focus on breathing width into your body. So as you inhale, visualize your rib cage moving east and west of your belly button. And use your hands as feedback to breathe your rib cage into your hand. So as you inhale, think of an accordion expanding. And exhale and notice, are your ribs moving equally as you breathe and expand in width? Place one hand on your pubic bone and one hand under your collarbone. And as you inhale, visualize length such that your collarbone moves north of your belly button and your pubic bone moves south of your belly button. We're not looking for movement in your spine, just that sense of lengthening and energy and space coming into your body. And one more time as you inhale, breathing length into your body. And exhale. Place both hands on your abdomen and we'll do our 3D breath, where as you breathe in length, depth, and width, all in equal timing, such as that you're breathing like a barrel, moving 3-dimensionally. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Keeping your hands on your abdomen, we're now going to focus on our exhale. Our first sound when we exhale will be a shh, then a like you're blowing air out of a tube, and then an HA. Inhale. Together, exhale. Just allow your hands to follow the natural movement up and in of your belly. And now, like air going out of the tube, inhale and exhale. And now your third sound, inhale and exhale. And this time, make the sound that gives you the best response. Pick one of 3. And now, keeping your hands on your pelvis, we'll go into your tuck and your tilt. As you exhale, drawing your pubic bone towards your belly button. Pause there for a moment. Make sure you're relaxed in your glutes and light on your feet. And then as you inhale and then exhale, you tilt, which is just simply an untuck with the focus of staying light on your feet and keeping your ribs relaxed. Again, as you exhale, you tuck, using only the muscles of the core to tuck. And then as you inhale, you tilt, simply untucking while staying still through your rib cage. Again, exhale to tuck. And then inhale to tilt. If you're not sure of your rib cage, simply place your hands on your ribs and notice, are your ribs staying still and quiet as you tuck and you tilt. Now finish somewhere in between. You're not tucked or you're tilted. You're in what we call neutral. Bring your feet a little more narrow. Reach your arms long, straighten your elbows, and just make Spider-Man fingers with your hands. We'll go into our single leg lift where we're focusing on bringing stability into your core. Inhale. And as you exhale, you can make your sound and slowly de-weight one foot. Continue as you alternate. Your focus is on your breath. As you exhale, wait for that response of your deep-rooted core mechanism before you de-weight one foot. As you exhale, your foot is barely lifting off the mat. And what there is to notice is how much you're using your hands to help stabilize you. Next, you can take your hands and place them on your ribs. Your elbows are just hovered off the mat. And as you exhale, wait for that response of your deep-rooted core and just gently hover one foot. If it feels messy, don't worry about that. What we've done is we've increased the core challenge, such as that your nervous system has to respond a little bit quicker to help you find balance, stability, and control. And exhale, feel that core activation and lifting one foot. Place your fingers back down and then do it again. Exhale, feeling that activation of your abdominals drawing up and in before you very slightly de-weight your foot. Remember, you're barely de-weighting your foot. And notice if you're using your hands less than you were before. You can even just tap with one little fingertip with the focus on more of the stability coming from your core mechanism than it is from your hands, and place your feet down. Next, you're going to take your hands and wrap them around your rib cage. If you can grab hold of your shoulder blades, go ahead. If not, take your shoulders. Now we're going to move your thoracic spine, keeping your pelvis neutral. So tuck and tilt. And one more time, tuck. This is what we don't want to do when we do our chest lift. And then tilt. Now take a breath in. And as you exhale, draw your ribs towards your pelvis, your elbows towards your pelvis, coming into your chest lift. Pause there, inhale, reset your pelvis so your pelvis is neutral. And as you exhale, come up a little higher. Did you keep your pelvis neutral? Inhale to bring it back down. Reset your pelvis so your weight is on top of your sacrum. As you exhale, your head, your chest, focus on your ribs and your elbows gliding down to your pelvis. Reset your pelvis as you inhale. And as you exhale, come up. Think now more of lifting your chest straight up to the ceiling. And inhale, lower down. Exhale, you're curling forward towards your pelvis. As you inhale, reset your pelvis. And exhale, now think of lifting just one more inch straight up towards the ceiling. And then lower back down. Switch your arms, cross them now over the other way. Good. Again, check that your pelvis is neutral. As you exhale, your ribs, your elbows glide towards your pelvis. Reset your pelvis, relaxing through your hips. And exhale, lift straight up to the ceiling now, one more inch. Inhale to lower down. Exhale, head, chest, ribs and elbows glide to your pelvis. Reset your pelvis, releasing your hips. And exhale, lift straight up to the ceiling, one more inch. And inhale to lower down. Last one. Exhale. Inhale, reset your pelvis. Exhale, lift straight up towards the ceiling and bring it all the way down. Place your arms long by your sides, straighten your elbows and press your palm into the mat. Your arms are about as wide as your mat. Open your throat. We'll go into your neck turn. Inhale. As you exhale, simply tilt your head to between 11 o'clock and 10 o'clock and reach through your opposite arm. So if my head is tilted left, you want to reach your right arm a little longer, looking for some directional tension, some tension between your neck, down your chest, through your upper arm. If you don't feel any, you gently rock over towards your left, the side your head is turned to. Keep reaching through that right arm. Inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind, bring your roller back to center, head to center, and relax your arm. Check that you're open through your throat. You're just simply doing a little head turn so that your nose is pointed now towards 1 or 2 o'clock. Reach your left arm a little longer. If you want to find a little more length, you simply let your body roll, tilt a little on the roller towards your right. Pause, take a focused breath in. As you exhale, slowly bring the roller back, relax the arm reach, and your head is towards center. Extend one leg out onto the floor, roll off to that side of the roller, and bring yourself onto your mat. So what did we just do? We just did our rebalance sequence, our pelvic tuck and tilt with our 3-dimensional breath. We moved your pelvis independent of the ribs, and then we moved your rib cage independent of the pelvis, and we brought stability into your core. So turn your palms to your ceiling, close your eyes, and just check, is there more of you on the mat? If before you felt like your shoulder blades were tipped back towards the top of the shoulder blades, do you feel like they're more grounded? Your rib cage, do you feel like there's more of a low back curve as opposed to a whole back curve? And do you feel like you're more weighted on your butt cheeks? Turn your head to the right and left and notice if there's any more freedom of movement in your neck. And then center, divide your body into a right and left, and notice if before you felt like you're a little more weighted to the right or left of your body, notice if you feel a little more centered. Bend your knees, take a focused breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to take your roller. Now, this is the one where we're going to bring the roller under your pelvis. So if you have a half roller, Sharon and Anne, and you want to use a half roller here, this is when you would grab that. You lift your pelvis, you bring the roller underneath you. What's important here is that you're sitting right on top of your sacrum, that the roller is not under your lower back so you can reach back, and you want to make sure that you can feel the top of your pelvis, and that the roller, when you bring your knees up, is directly in line with your hip. Bringing your knees up towards 12 o'clock, make sure your heels are dropped down to your seat, and bring your thighs in a little closer towards you. Tilt your knees over to your right, take your left hand and slide it under your left hip. Tilt your knees to the left, and then bring your right hand under your right hip. And those are like your little bumpers, like when we bowl with the little bumpers on the side. And we'll go into our SI joint shear, keeping your thighs more towards your torso. You're gently going to rock, and when you land on your hand, you know that that's as far as you need to go. So we're really just going to 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. We don't want to go off the SI joint. And then pause when your knees are over to your left, keeping your legs together. You're just going to circle your knees. Notice I'm not letting my knees fall too far away from me, where it's more challenging to keep stability in the back. Instead, keep the core engaged and keep your legs a little closer towards you and over top of the roller. Keep your right leg still, and now we just circle in through the left hip. And you can march. Good. And then you bring your legs together and you wait. Take a focused breath in. And as you exhale, bring it back to center, and then take your legs over to the other side. Circle through both legs, bringing some hydration into the SI joint and into your low back. You can circle the right hip only. Circle slow and in a range where there's no snapping, cracking, clipping, popping, crunching. You want it nice and smooth. Or you could march. Those are 3 different variations to your shear. Choose one or choose them all. And then hold your legs together, pause, take a focused breath in, and as you exhale, bring it back to center. We're going to place your right foot down to the mat. Make sure that your foot is planted, that you can feel your big toe pad, your baby toe ball, and your heel pad, and that your knee is tracking in a straight line from your hip. Take your hands, interlock your fingers, place them over top of your shin or under your thigh. And then we're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, make sure you're pressing into your footprint. You're going to tuck your pelvis as you reach your knees away from each other. So your right knee is reaching over your toes as you bring your left knee to your nose. We're looking to find length in the hip and thigh of your right leg. Pause there, take a focused breath in, ease up. As you exhale, check that your knee is still lined up with your hip. Press into your big toe pad and exhale, tuck and draw your knees in opposite direction. Slowly ease up, bring your right leg up, place your left foot down to the mat. Make sure that your foot is close enough that you can feel your full footprint. Your toe is planted to the mat. Your knee is in line with your hip. Interlock your fingers around your shin, relax your shoulders. Take a focused breath in. As you exhale, you tuck and then draw your knees in opposite directions. The focus is the lengthening through your left hip and thigh. As you inhale, check on your alignment, your knees lined up from your hip, and then tuck, pubic bone to belly button, and draw your knees in opposite direction. Stay in this position. You're going to flex your right foot. You're going to send that right leg across the room, so straight out till your knee is straight. Keep your foot flexed. Bring your leg up only as high as this leg stays straight. Then, keeping the knee straight, you're going to tilt your pelvis on the roller, but keep your ribs heavy. And then let's just check, point and flex. And when you flex, we're looking to find a lengthening pull from your heel all the way down to your sits bone. If you're tucked and you point and flex, you'll notice just your calf and then just your hamstring. So that tilt is really important in keeping the knee straight and your ribs heavy. Hold your foot flexed. Take a focused breath in and then turn your hip out. So your knee and foot turn out because you've moved at your hip. On your next exhale, we're going to cross over midline with your left leg coming over as well. You're drawing your inner thigh towards each other. Keep your right hip planted on the roller and pull your baby toe towards your knee. Take a focused breath in and exhale, bring that leg back, bend your knee and place your foot down. You may notice a rush of blood flow or energy all the way through the back of your leg. Bring your left leg up, flex your foot, send your leg across the room. Bring your leg straight up, keeping your foot flexed. Keeping your ribs heavy, tilt your pelvis on top of the roller so you feel the weight of your pelvis on the top. Flex your foot and notice, do you feel this length going from your heel all the way to your sits bone? Turn your hip out. Pull your baby toe towards the back of your knee. Keep your left hip planted. As you exhale, take your leg across midline with the right leg as well coming across midline, so you're drawing your inner thigh towards each other. Keep this right or left hip pressing down into the roller. Pull your left toe towards your knee. Bring your leg back to center, bend your knee and place your foot down. So now we're going to go into our mini bridge. So here, keeping your feet planted, you want your heels close enough that you can press into your whole footprint. You're going to tilt your pelvis on top of the roller, but keep your ribs heavy. You can use your hands lightly on the roller just to help keep it still. So being in this tilt is really important. You're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, keep your ribs heavy, press down into your feet, and then just hover your pelvis. So if you're on the full roller, your pelvis is likely still on the roller, but we're being now heavy in the feet and light on the pelvis. Next, you're going to push your heels away from your seat, narrow your knee angle, and squeeze your glutes to lift your pelvis just one more inch. Pause, take a focused breath in, and as you exhale, let your pelvis come back down to the roller. So now we're light on our feet and heavy on the roller. Take a breath in, make sure you're in your tilt. And as you exhale, now be heavy in your feet as you push down, light in the pelvis. On your next exhale, press your heels away from your seat. Press your knees over your toes. Stay heavy in your ribs and lift your glutes 1 more inch. So the focus is getting that work in your lower glute, upper hamstring, and length through your hip and your thigh. Pause, take another breath in, and as you exhale, lower your pelvis back down. Again, as you exhale, we can start to integrate it where you become heavy in your feet, push your heels away from your seat, narrow your knee angle, and lift your pelvis. So we bring it all in together and inhale to lower back down. Now we're going to add a little glute challenge here. Exhale, press heavy into your feet, push your heels away from your seat, reach your knees over your toes. Now stay here and press heavier into your right foot and lighten your left foot. So the foot doesn't have to come off the ground, but you're de-weighting the left foot. As you press into the right foot, the focus is keeping your pelvis centered. Don't let it tilt. Now, step heavier into your left foot, lighten up on the right foot, but keep your pelvis centered. And inhale. Exhale, press heavier into the right foot, squeeze your glutes, lifting your hips, but keep your ribs heavy. And then left foot, step heavier into your left foot. Are you keeping your hips square? Push into that left foot, activate your left glute, and then equal weight on both hips, and bring your pelvis all the way down. Nice. Good, so make sure the pelvis is, or the roller is right under the center of your pelvis. Bring your legs up. Tuck and tilt challenge for a little core challenge. You're gonna bring your knees, your thighs slightly closer towards you. Place your hands onto your thighs and slide your hands up your thighs till your elbows are straight. Keep your ribs heavy, shoulders relaxed. Press your thighs into your hands and you'll notice a subtle activation of your abdominals. And then keeping that pressure of your thighs on your hands, your heels to your seat. And as you exhale, you tuck your pelvis, keeping the pressure of your thighs on your hands and your ribs heavy. On your next exhale, you're going to tilt your pelvis, but keep your ribs down, the pressure of your thighs on your hands. Again, tuck. This is quite a discrete movement. And just notice, do you have ease of movement in your pelvis to be able to tuck and tilt while keeping your ribs heavy and keeping the pressure of your thighs on your hands consistent? And you tilt, and one more time, you tuck and you tilt. Now stay in the tilt. We're going to do our low back decompress. Are your ribs heavy? Are you tilted on top of the roller? Ease up on the pressure. Take a focused breath in. Stay in your tilt. As you exhale, press your thighs into your hands and notice a lengthening or decompression in the low back. Ribs are heavy. Inhale, ease up on the pressure. As you exhale, press your thighs into your hands. Keep your heels relaxed to your seat. Notice the lengthening in through your low back. Inhale, release one more time. Exhale, press your thighs into your hands. Feel the lengthening in your low back. And release. Place your feet down, lift your pelvis, remove the roller from behind you, and then just take the roller off to your side. And palms are to the ceiling. Good, close your eyes. So if we did that low back decompress correctly, what we would notice is the low back curve is shorter, so you can feel more ribs down, you can feel more equal weight on the glutes, but you'll notice that the curve of the lumbar spine is steeper. So it's shorter, but there's more lift or more curve in the lumbar spine. Good. So bend your knees, roll onto your side. Bring your roller in front of you. And then with the roller up more in line with your torso, you're going to reach your arms straight out. And then you're going to bring this leg on top. Actually, have it in closer, pardon me. We're going to do our inner thigh lift. So you just want to have the roller in front of you. And then bring your lower leg on top of the roller so your knee is on the roller. And then you're going to stack your pelvis where you're reaching your top hip over your bottom hip. What you'll notice is that your ribs are down on the mat, but your waist is lifted off the mat. So keeping the stack of your pelvis is really important. Take a breath in, flex your bottom foot, and as you exhale, lift your bottom leg up off the floor. Check, are you still stacked? And then lower it back down. Stack your pelvis. As you exhale, you lift your leg, pause, take a breath in, check, stack, and then roll it back down. And lift, recheck your pelvis. Is it stacked? Chances are we've shortened, which means we're using more QL and obliques. Find the length, lift your leg a little higher now, and lower it back down. Again, check. Pelvis is stacked. As you lift the bottom leg, think of lengthening. Restack your pelvis and lift that bottom leg up just a little higher. Slowly lower down, inhale. Stack the pelvis, lengthen your leg as you lift. Lift your leg just a little higher and lower back down. Now we'll integrate it. We'll bring it together. Stack. Lift your leg up and down and lift and lower and lift and lower and now lift and hold it there. Lower it just halfway down. Check your pelvis and lift it up. Lower halfway down and lift. That's it, almost there, and lower halfway down. And lift, just two more, lower halfway down, and lift, and last one, lower, and lift, and release. Beautiful. All right, let's change sides. So, onto your side, bring the roller in front of you, bring the bottom leg on top. We want to check the pelvis position where we are stacked. And you can even tilt forward slightly, although the roller tends to help take care of that. Bottom leg, flex your foot. Keep the stack of your pelvis. We want to keep the length between your ribs and your pelvis. And you lift your leg. Check that you're stacked and just lift one more inch. And then lower back down. Check, are you stacked? Are you rolled? Lift your leg up. Reach it long. Restack your pelvis and lift your leg up a little higher. And lower back down. Good. And now stack the pelvis. Check that you're tilted. Lift your leg up. Restack. Lift your leg a little higher. And down. Now we'll integrate it. So checking your stack at the bottom, you lift and you lower. And you lift and lower. Feeling your ribs are down, but your waist is lifted off the mat. Feeling the space between your rib and hip on the top side. And now we're going to lift your leg up and you're going to come halfway down and you lift and lower, staying in that stack, checking in every breath. Always checking the awareness of where is your body in space. So when we lift the leg, rather than using the strength of the torso to move, you truly are using your inner thigh. And one more time, and lift and lower. Beautiful. Good. All right, and then bend your knees. Pushing yourself up to a seated position. We're going to take the roller behind you and we're going to go into some upper back decompression. So finding the roller behind you, good. And as you punch your arms up, you want the roller just at the bottom of your shoulder blades. We're then going to set the pelvis to stabilize the lumbar spine. You lift your hips up, you tuck, and you place your pelvis down. So keeping your abdominals drawn in. Take your hands, interlock your fingers together, and we'll do our rib length assess, where you're lengthening back through the ribs, keeping the lumbar spine supported, and just take a breath and notice the length through your rib cage that's available. And then exhale to come up. Lengthen again as you inhale, stay there, and just side bend to your left. Breathe into your right rib cage and just notice if there's any restriction. Exhale, bring it back to center. Side bend to your right, breathe into the left rib cage. Notice if there's any restriction, how that feels, and bring it back to center. Slide the roller so it's at the top of your shoulder blades. Point your elbows to the wall, where the wall and the ceiling meet, and keep your head heavy as you hover your pelvis. And we're going to glide the whole range of the shoulder blades. So we're doing our whole thing here. We're going from the top of the shoulder blades to the bottom, focusing on the tissue that's in between your shoulder blades and your spine. Find a spot that feels a little bit tender, and you can just tighten up that glide, noticing there's a little stuck stress in a certain spot. Remember, you want to bump up against it, because what we're wanting to do is push that stuck stress out. And then you bring your pelvis down. You'll notice how one vertebra is pinned to the roller, and just go into your twisting action. Good. And then you wait, take a focused breath in and exhale. Now we're going to do our inner shoulder blade glide, and you're going to take your left elbow and point it to the ceiling. All that does is it rotates you a little bit, and it gets you onto the inner shoulder blade. Lift your pelvis, and again, you want to glide up and down the whole span of your inner shoulder blade. So sometimes we break this down. We take a little more time with it. Today, we're just getting her done a little more general, a little quicker version of this mat. And then you bring your pelvis down, and you can either fan this elbow open and close, or you can move your arm anywhere you like in front of your body. Good. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. Now you're going to roll onto your side, and we're going to go into our upper arm and forearm glide. It's going to give us a little bit of rib cage glide as well. So you want to make sure your shoulder is on the head side of your roller, and that your upper arm just below your deltoid and your forearm are on the roller. And then you can take your head and rest your head in your hand. Now you're curling forward and back. So with this one, think of doing more of an abdominal curl, or you can pump with your legs so that you're rolling on your upper arm just to the bottom of your deltoid and your forearm, and getting a little bit of rib cage in there as well. So you're just curling in and up, and curl in and up, and one more time, curl in and up. Good. So now we're going to head over to the other side. So now you're going to reach your right elbow to the ceiling. So we end up on the left inner shoulder blade. Lift your hips, pelvis just a little off the mat, and you're going to glide up and down on the entire part of your inner shoulder blade. If you find something that feels a little tender, there's some stuck stress there, you're going to tighten up the glide and just bump up against it. Good. And then you place your pelvis down, and we fan this elbow, or you can move your arm around in front of your body in any direction that you like. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in And exhale. Good. Now you're going to roll onto your side. And here you're going to come onto your upper arm and your forearm and let your head rest and let this hand come onto the forearm. And what that will do is just give a little bit extra compression. And then you're curling forward and back. So we're rolling just to the bottom of your deltoid and then just towards your elbow. And you're curling in like you're doing a little ab curl or pumping with the legs. Getting a little onto the ribs, which is nice as well. Good. And then we're just going to pause there. And then we're going to go into our chest glide and shear. You guys ready for this one? All right, so remember with melt, we want to get in and get out. For some, this is quite tender, but it's good to get in there, especially if you've been experiencing neck, shoulder, upper back tenderness, or just some restriction in your breathing if you've caught a cold or have some allergies going on. So how we get into this is your hands are going to be on your body side of the roller. So I'm going to go on to my left chest. So I'm going to take my hand out and I'm going to place my chest on the roller. So my knees are to my right, just below my collarbone. As I roll, I don't want to go on the breast tissue. You want to stay between above your breast tissue and the collarbone. And you want to think of pushing up into the front of the roller. So it's like, notice I'm kind of going up a little bit here. Good, and then we're going to stop, and with the shear, it's a cross friction. And then you wait, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Good, and then push yourself up. How was that? Good thing we only have two sides, eh? All right, so then take your knees to the other side. Place again, you want to work through the pectoral area between your breast and the collarbone. This hand goes long, the other hand goes down for support. And as you glide, you're pressing into the front of the roller. So you're sort of pushing up against it. Good. And then we pause and we shear where we go into your cross friction. And then you wait, take a focused breath in. And exhale. Good. And then you come off. So then we're going to turn and we're going to rinse our back now. So we're going to take the roller and bring it back into position. We want to get our pelvis tucked. So we're nice and stable through the lumbar spine. Hands behind the head. And then you're going to slide yourself towards the top of the roller. So at the top of your shoulder blade. We want to lift the pelvis slightly as you press into your feet. And then you're going to steamroll your back as you're pressing into the front of the roller, scooping. And eventually you'll stop because your pelvis comes down and your legs straighten. So notice I'm curled forward. Then reset your feet. Quickly come down to the top of the shoulder blades. So we go up slow and down fast. Reset the feet, hover the pelvis, press against and curling through, moving the fluids all the way through your spine, through your low back. And then we come down fast, reset your feet, tuck, hover, press against the roller, pushing through, reset the feet, and bring yourself back. Good. All right, so let's do our rib length reassess. So in the starting position, we want to be where we're at the bottom of the shoulder blades. You're going to take your hands behind your head, elbows are wide. Tuck your pelvis, engage your core so your lumbar spine stays stable. And as you inhale, just lengthen through your ribs. And notice if you've got any more range of motion here. And then as you inhale, side bend to your left, breathe into your right rib cage. And notice if you've freed up any more movement there. And then come back. And then side bend to your right, and same thing, breathe into your left rib cage. And notice if you've freed anything up there, take a focused breath in, and exhale, come back. Hopefully that feels Better. All right. So let's bring this up. You're just going to lie down on your back and bring the roller behind your head. Make sure the roller is on your skull. We never put the roller on the neck. So it's just behind the bump. And then lift your chin as if you're just lifting your chin to smell something, or your nose to smell something good in the air. And then go into your infinity sign or your sideways figure 8. So the idea here is the weight of your head is right on top of the roller. So you're creating this back of skull shear. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. So if the roller moved at all, you want it still behind the back of your head, right behind that bump. And your chin is up, your throat is open. We're just going to finish with our neck decompress. You'll take a breath in. As you exhale, you're lengthening through the back of your neck as your chin draws down and nose. Inhale, pause. And exhale, bring your head back to center. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, focus on lengthening, decompressing, creating space in the back of your neck. Inhale and exhale. Bring your head back up. And one more time, inhale, exhale, creating that length, feeling how your ribs are heavy, shoulder blades are down, moving your skull away from the grounding, and then back to center. Remove the roller from behind your head, straighten your legs out, arms by your side. Let's just check our head, just turn your head side to side. Just see if we've freed up any movement in the neck. Coming back to center. Just notice from the last assessment that we did, if you've still got your rib cage down, your shoulder blades down, you feel there's a low back curve instead of a whole back curve. And also that you're weighted on your 2 butt cheeks. And then divide your body into a left and right. And are you still feeling centered? Equal weight on the 2 sides. Bending your knees, take a focused breath in. As you exhale, roll onto your side and up to a seated position.